Greetings from the NorthOps studios in Redding, California, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of your Fire Weather Webcast. I'm your host, Jeff Tonkin. Let's get started. There are no fire weather watches or red flag warnings in effect for California or nationally. However, building high pressure across the Four Corners region is leading to the issuance of heat advisories and heat warnings across southern Arizona and the San Joaquin Valley today. There was no lightning or precipitation recorded yesterday across California, and looking at this morning's water vapor imagery shows weak troughing over northern California, while over the desert southwest, high pressure begins to build, and further southeast, a tropical storm is driving plenty of moisture into southeast Texas. We will need to keep an eye on this moisture to see if it gets entrained across Mexico and ultimately making it up into Southern California later next week. Visible imagery this morning shows a similar morning compared to yesterday, with abundant sunshine across most of the state, a shallow marine layer hugging the north coast and southward down into the Bay Area, while a deeper marine layer persists along the Southern California coast. More notably is a fair amount of smoke hanging around the southern Sac Valley from the Sites Fire just west of I-5 near Williams, California. Looking at the major weather features via the 500 millibar forcing pattern over the next 3 days, begins with broad westerly flow across the west coast this morning due to a weak trough overhead. Looping through Saturday shows the trough persisting, but gradually giving way to rising height lines as the Four Corners ridge of high pressure builds and extends westward over California toward the weekend. This will lead to increasing temperatures across Northern California late in the week and during the weekend, where interior valley max temperatures may reach near 105 degrees. Although very little to no precipitation is expected over the next several days, Thursday afternoon has the potential for some isolated mountain showers or thunderstorms. Shown here is the probabilities of one or more strikes. The lighter green would indicate a 5% chance around the northwest mountains, northern mountains, and Sierra, with a couple pockets of a 10% chance. Taking a look at the GACC wind charts for today depicts generally light onshore winds across most areas. Shown here, some breezy to gusty westerlies are seen along the southern end of the coastal gaps and along the Bay Area and Delta this afternoon, where gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour are likely. The wind pattern remains light overnight tonight and for early tomorrow. For tomorrow afternoon, shown here, depicts slightly stronger west and northwest winds along the Shasta Valley, coastal range, and the crest, where gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour are likely in the late afternoon. By early Friday morning, ridge influences begin to foster more of an easterly late night and early morning winds. Shown here, east and northeast winds of 50 to 20 miles per hour are depicted along the lower slopes of the Cascade and Sierra. Reviewing the GACC upcoming RH fields for this afternoon still shows a very dry air mass across most areas of the state. Generally 10 to 15% min RH is expected later today, with pockets of single digits for most areas east of the coastal interior. Moderation of the very dry air will gradually occur through Friday, shown here, as more marine influence begins to shift eastward. Min RH values for Thursday and Friday should range from 15 to 25% across most areas. Reviewing the NorthOps 7-day table shows a return to low risk for most PSAs as higher RH gets established during the midweek period. Temperatures warm early in the weekend, while subtle increase in west and northwest winds drive interior PSAs back to a moderate risk on Saturday. While the SouthOps 7-day product also shows most areas falling back to low risk of significant fire potential during the next couple of days, moderate risk returns this weekend to interior and desert PSAs. Summarizing today's fire weather webcast highlights, troughing influences continue through the next 7 days. However, increasing temperatures are likely, with interior areas rising 5 to 10 degrees above normal late in the week and during the weekend. Little to no precipitation is expected through the next week, except for an isolated shower or thunderstorm across the north and east on Thursday. Breezy westerlies will be favored over the southern coastal range and greater Bay Area today through Friday. The air mass continues to remain very dry across all areas today, except for the immediate coast, with min-RHs ranging from the high single digits to upper teens and poor recoveries away from the coast. RH values moderate some by Thursday, but a return of lower RH looks likely toward the weekend, along with a subtle increase in west to northwest winds. This concludes today's fire weather webcast.